Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. There it is, GR Corolla. Today's the day we say goodbye. A little bittersweet, but I'll show you getting it loaded onto the trailer, and then we'll talk a little bit more about why I sold it and the original video and all of that. Hey, so just wanted to interrupt this video. You'll see me again at the end of this video talking about what the next steps are, the reason I sold, did I make money, what my cars and bids experience was. I'm gonna kick it back to myself, and then you'll see me here again at the end of the video. Thanks so much for watching. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. It helps so much. All right, back to me. All right, so here we are on a cold, rainy day in Buffalo, getting ready to meet the shipper. Have to drive up to the corner to the gas station because he's got a big car hauler and he won't be able to get through the roundabout to get onto my street. So here we are, final drive, and take it nice and easy and get her shipped away. Here we are, here's the GR. I miss it already. This guy just stopped me in the parking lot. He's, oh, did you just buy this? Oh, did you? So he talked to me for 10 minutes while the guy got the truck ready. So clearly the car gets attention, and you know, he's like, this is the first one I've seen and all this stuff. So it's a bittersweet feeling. I don't know if I'll order one in the future or if I'll get a Type R or another 86. I would like a GR 86. So I don't know, all kinds of stuff to talk about in the future, but it's very cold. I'll update you in a minute. So here we are, it's me again, but different. Wanted to talk about a few things surrounding the GR Corolla and the whole experience. First of all, why did I buy and why did I sell? Over a year ago, I was super excited when the car was announced, just like everyone else was. At the time, I was on my second summer, I guess it was the spring, going into my second year of ownership of my 987 Boxster, and while I enjoyed that car, I was kind of ready to, move on and do something different. When the car got announced, I was super pumped up. The marketing was excellent from Toyota. Threw a deposit down, not knowing when I would get the vehicle. Certainly didn't think I would be the first person in Buffalo, to my knowledge, or at least at the dealership that I worked with, to get one. So that was kind of a surprise. I love this category of vehicles. I previously owned a Focus ST. I have a ton of experience driving the Civic Type R, the previous generation, not the updated one. So for me, when the Toyota came out, I saw it, I'm like, okay, car looks good, performance seems great, people are saying good things about it, why not throw a deposit down and kind of see what happens? My love for Toyota goes back very, very far. My first car I ever had was a hand-me-down from a couple different family members. It was a 99 Toyota Camry. Then, fast forward to college, worked at a Toyota dealership, actually the same dealership that sold me the GR Corolla. I worked there for 2 years, spent a lot of time obviously driving Toyotas. After having the Camry be my first car, skipped a couple cars, and then went to the 17 Toyota 86, which I absolutely adore, and arguably probably the best car I've ever driven. We'll get to that in a minute. I've had a 95 and I currently still have a 96 4Runner. My dad had a 2017 4Runner. I drove that a lot. So really my love for Toyota and the brand is a instrumental part of me being a car enthusiast. And so again, when this car came out, I was fired up. And I said to myself, this would be a really, really fun daily driver. So what am I missing here, right? And obviously the cost is substantial. So that brings me to, why did I sell? At the time that I put the deposit down, I was in my previous job, and it would have been a little bit of a stretch, but I could have handled the payment. And so that's why I put the deposit down. Since then, I've started a new position. And initially, as I started the position, it was a slight pay cut. It's a commission-based job, so my pay has continued to increase in the months that I've been working there. But just was right on the fringe of being comfortable with the payment on a after taxes $45,000 car, kind of what brought me to selling on Cars and Bids. And I say this, up until the day that I clicked submit the auction, I was like still on the fringe of whether or not I was going to keep it. Some people won't believe that. That's the truth. I really did want to keep it. It was just truly a case of bad timing. Pretty much came down to I decided that I'd rather continue racing in Champ Car, love racing, and want to continue to pursue that. And with a $800 some car payment plus insurance and everything else that goes along with it, it was just going to be, well, do I want to race or do I want to have this fun car and go do, autocross or track days or what's the compromise? And the compromise is, well, I'm not going to be able to race. It's kind of one or the other. That was pretty much the main deciding factor. One other thing I'll include, but again, the fact that I bought the car not knowing if I was going to keep it or not, this isn't or wasn't a primary concern, but it kind of has become more apparent since the car has come out and since people have put miles on them. Having the concerns of a first model year, it's one of those things where people either are on one side or the other of the debate where is it good to buy a first year of model or is it bad? What the history tells us, at least in my personal experience, the 2013 FRS is notorious for having a lot of issues, albeit minor issues, but as the cars have aged, they've had bigger issues, and that's a whole nother rabbit hole to get into. My 2017 86, which was essentially just, the same car, just evolved, was perfect. I mean, I never had a single issue with the car. The only issue I ever had was a wheel bearing that went, and that was a result of me driving the absolute snot out of it on track. That's on me, not really the car. Another example, personal to me, there's tons of these examples out there, so you can go down rabbit holes. The 2013 Focus ST had a number of issues, and there was wiring harness issues and this and that and whatever. My 2015 Focus ST, while others may have had issues with that same model year, I never had a single issue. The PCV valve was a recalled thing. I did. Everything else was great with that car. I absolutely loved that car. And again, I drove the snot out of it. Still never had any real issues. In general, I think that in 2024 or 2025 model years, the GR Corolla will be evolved in some sense. It might be something little like them adding the armrest that everyone's complaining that it doesn't have an armrest, or a diff cooler because people are saying that the rear diff overheats on track. I don't know what Toyota's going to do, but just kind of like a level one concern for me as I discuss what I'm going to do in the future. I would feel more comfortable owning one for a long period of time if it has some of those minor things kind of shaken out. This car, even as I was on the fence of whether I was going to keep it or not, I probably would have only kept it for, 1 or 2 summers, just because I kind of get bored and I like to experience new cars. And so it wasn't ever really going to be a forever car for me. With that said, if it was going to be a forever car, I probably never would have considered buying the first year model for those reasons that I just mentioned. Okay, so I'll try not to make this a 20-minute video. The other few things that I want to discuss is, did I make money? Yes, like this much, but mostly I was happy to see it go to a good home. I went to a buyer in Connecticut. He was excellent the entire process, and I'm excited for him to, go enjoy the car. It wasn't really a true flip in the sense that everyone was saying it was on YouTube, on the Cars and Bids auction. It was more of a learning experience for me on, hey, maybe don't put a deposit down, not knowing where you're going to be in a year from now or 10 months from now or whenever the car decides to show up. But on the other hand, I love the brand Porsche more than anything, and it's kind of one of those things where when I am eventually ready to order a 911, however many years from now that is, I will probably order it a year or two too soon because of how far out these cars are, the demand is. So for me, this was kind of a good learning experience because I just happened to get the first allocation, but that doesn't always happen, right? So someone dropped out or something happened. I'm not really sure why I was moved up because I definitely wasn't first in line when I put the deposit down, but for whatever reason, I got moved up and the car came way sooner than I thought it would come. If one little thing changes and I don't get this car until May or June, maybe I actually keep the thing. That's kind of the learning experience for me. I could have said, no, I want to wait and give it to the next guy. I could have done that, but I kind of wanted to try and make it work. But ultimately, this was really just kind of a nice learning experience for me. I made a couple bucks, really not a lot. I wouldn't describe it as a flip by any means because, I mean, it didn't make a lot. I've made more money selling crappy beaters that I bought on Craigslist and put minimal work into and then sold. You know, I've made more money doing that than I did with this car. So wouldn't really consider this a true flip. That brings me to my next point, which is my cars and bids experience as a whole. I'll lead with the good and then finish with the bad. The communication was super easy. There were no fees. I would do it again and I would recommend it. They're not paying me to say that by any means, but if down the road I go to sell another car, maybe I won't do the Facebook Marketplace or Craigslist thing because, you know, people are flaky and it's annoying, and rather just do this again. So it was a good experience from that perspective. The negative is that there were, you know, tons of comments, people, you know, trying to rip on me, not understanding my intention with the car and just assuming whatever they wanted to assume. I wrote a nice little blurb in the posting and said, hey, this is the reason I'm selling, wish I could keep it. Basically all the things I just mentioned. I love Toyota, I've owned Toyotas in the past, whatever, and, you know, nobody really paid attention to any of that. And instead they just said whatever they wanted to say because that's what people do on the internet. It's kind of the same as YouTube. You know, the video I've posted about, you know, Toyota failed with the GR Corolla, people absolutely ripped me to shreds. At this point, I don't care. When I was in journalism school, our professors used to say to us, don't read the comments or don't take it to heart. They used to bother me and they just don't. To all the haters out there on the first YouTube video and the cars and bids posting, thanks so much. Thanks for the views. You know, hopefully you're watching again. Enjoy. And that kind of brings me to what's next, right? So I've sold this car. I'm going to go racing this summer. But I do eventually want to own another enthusiast car because I am a car enthusiast and I love going out and driving and enjoying what I'm driving. And frankly, right now, my 96 4Runner with 258,000 miles isn't the most fun car to drive. It's fun to go, you know, camping on the weekends and do some light trails and stuff like that. But other than that, it's not really the greatest car to daily drive. That brings me to kind of what I am looking for. A fun, reliable, efficient vehicle with a manual transmission under $20,000-ish. Or I am looking to order a GR86 because, as I previously mentioned, I absolutely adored my 2017 86 and miss that car every day pretty much. Or buy a C5 Z06. I should have done this years ago. The prices have gone up just like pretty much everything else. So either a C5 Z06 or like a C6 Grand Sport. I know they're like boomer cars and whatever, but if you've ever driven one on track or ridden in one on track or seen someone else driving one on track, they're really, really good cars. And, you know, the build quality as far as the engine and transmission goes is great. And the interior, it's, you know, it's plastic early 2000s GM. So if you care about that, then it's not the car for you, but whatever. They're great. I've been looking at those for a long time. Should have bought one a few years ago. And then the other car, which I wouldn't necessarily say my dream car, I would like a GT3 someday, but a 997 911 Carrera S, basic black interior or black with tan interior, you know, something kind of just simple, classy, timeless. I would absolutely love one of those cars, and they used to be more affordable than they are, blah, blah, blah. Same exact thing that we're talking about with the C5 Z06. So if I were to do one of those three things, the GR86, the C5Z, or the 997 911, I would basically keep the 4Runner as the winter daily, and then, you know, kind of daily these in the summer whenever it's nice out. So I guess let me know in the comments. Thank you for sticking through all of this if you made it this far. Let me know in the comments below what you would buy for under 20K, fun, reliable, efficient manual transmission, or if you think I should go for a new GR86, a C5Z, or that 997 911. I'll probably own a 997 911 regardless at some point in my life. But maybe that's like a couple more years from now. Remember to like, comment, subscribe, comment what you think I should do next. Throw your hate comments in too if you think I'm an idiot. I just absolutely love when I see that. So keep that up. Thank you so much for watching, and we will see you in the next video. Peace.